Hi guys, welcome back to Gardening with Dave. Now, there's a fair bit been happening. Went a bit quiet for a while, didn't it? But seems to have all kicked off again. Lots to show you. Why don't we start with this isn't going to work. What I'll do is I'll change the angle and so I can see what I'm showing you. There we go, that's better. Look at those fellas, cucamelons, and they are popping up all through the tomatoes. They're back there, growing like a big vine, growing wild, much like the rest of the tomatoes. Now, every intention of keeping it nice and neat and trimming and stuff, but actually a lot of the branches now are holding up other branches of as the fruit gets heavier, and it becomes a case of just tying up and supporting as many of the fruit trusses as you can to try and prevent them from bending over, breaking, etc. But a lot more colour in there now, lots more oranges and reds. Picking quite a few tomatoes now daily, and look at these ones. Finally got some purple colour on my purple tomatoes, and those little ones are delicious. Oranges and reds, but looky here, underneath this leaf somewhere, a yellow cherry. Now I'm so happy about that because that's a really sweet variety of tomato. I've never known a sweeter tomato as that yellow cherry, and I'm really happy. That was one of the mystery ones that popped up at the allotment, and I was hoping to get that variety, and I'm really happy. So now I will be more diligent with saving the seeds and keep that one going, because it's almost like eating a strawberry or something, a fruit. Amazing. So very happy. But that is mystery tomato D. So that somewhat changes the leaderboard. Yellow cherry, let me show you. There we go. Richard now out front with 2 correct answers. Dan, Rohan and me in second with 1 each. And Towan and Jennifer, I'm afraid, third. But still all to play for. This is mystery C, and that could be orange, but I reckon it's probably going to be red cherry. We shall see. Could even be tigerella actually. Sometimes they develop the stripes fairly late, but all in good time. I'll just catch a glimpse of that massive cucumber at the back there. Need to pick him, and lots more coming. And over here, I knew about these gherkins. They need picking, get them in a jar. Quite a lot of them. But then, just now, you see behind that leaf, hiding there, another massive cucumber. So I need to get in there and pick him. That's one of the cool things. Like when we're doing all the seedlings at the start of the season, and you wait to see what pops up in the mud. That's pretty exciting. But another bit is when stuff catches you out, veg catches you out, and you don't even know it's there. And then all of a sudden, wow, pops up. Not least this little fella. That, I think, is a melon. How cool is that? There's a couple more starting to show. Hopefully these will get pollinated, and we'll get some melons. They didn't get massive last year, but hopefully they will this year. And if I come in here, in behind the melon plants is our New Zealand yellow bean plant. And look at those fellas. It's brilliant. Quite a few of those. But mainly to keep him alive and harvest the seeds so we can grow them next year and following years. What else we got here? Oh, the other day at the allotment, I noticed that my strawberries had stopped making strawberries, and they started making runners. Putting effort into basically growing more strawberries. They grow these long tendrils, and then at the end of them, they where they're touching the ground, they create new strawberry plants. So I cut them all off with the intention of getting more strawberries from my strawberry plants. And I thought, well, I'll try curling them all around in a pot like this, keeping them watered, and check it out. They've all taken, so at some point, before it gets too much of a mess, I need to get in there and separate them out. So next year, I'll probably keep them alive, and then next year, we'll have an abundance of strawberries. The padron, king padron, is now a floor standing pepper because it is growing too big. How about that? Huge. Getting some lovely padrons, because I do love a padron. Had a fair few off it so far. Tried them the other day, they were delicious. And also tried some of the new aubergines, different varieties in there. That stripy one. And check it out, the long awaited egg one. Very cool. Not tried that, that's the first one. I've tried some of the purpley ones, but not tried that one yet, so all good. Lots of the other peppers are coming on lovely. Del Toro, the Gypsy. What's this one? Oh, this is Olu's in a bottle pepper, Mystery Pepper A, this was, wasn't it? And that's coming on lovely too. Getting some nice fruits. There's a lot of the Mystery A ones are. In fact, if I pop him down here, so we can get a better view of Mystery Pepper B. Now, this is the one. Still don't know. This could be a game changer in the competition. Look at that. Now, I'm still undecided. It does look a bit like the jalapenos. It does look a bit like the banana ones. And it also looks a bit like the cayenne. There's a happy cayenne. This one's quite prolific, the cayenne normally, so we shall see. But still too early to call, I think. Doesn't look so smooth as the jalapeno. But it all depends if it gets longer. If it gets longer, then we know it's a banana. If it stays thin like that and goes red, then we know it's a cayenne. So still all to play for on the mystery seed quiz. That's about it for in here, I think. But at the allotment, still a fair bit going on, and I want to show you something about caring for your courgette plants as they get out of hand. So yes, courgettes, but first let me show you this. This is my water butt, and it's currently siphoning from the water butt at the far end. Happy days, filling it on its own, and that saved me a lot of time. Had to prime it obviously with the pedal pump that you might have seen from the other show. If not, check it out, I'll put a link at the end. That's working very well, and there's my new IBC 1,000 litre tank that I'm going to put above this somehow on a frame, and then need to work out how to get the water out of there up into there, but that'll be fun. Anyway, let's start with, before we do the courgettes, let's start with the pumpkin marrow pumpkin saga. New developments. I've not checked today, but this was the row of seeds that we sowed back in episode 1, first thing we did, and thought they were pumpkins because they were big old seeds and probably saved them. And then we planted them, and a couple of them looked like marrows, so we were thinking, well, maybe they were marrow seeds. Obviously this one, that looks well pumpkin-y. That's the first plant. The second plant, which I thought was a pumpkin, quite round, but look at that tinge of colour. I don't know about you, but it looks like it might be orange, and it might be a weird shaped pumpkin. And if that one's weird shaped, check out this one. Now, also going orange. Marrows can do that to a degree, but you know, the one at the far end there looks very pumpkiny. Odds on they're pumpkins, but why the funny shaped ones? Well, last year I grew them over there, marrows next to pumpkins. So what if we've created a marrowkin or a pump row? Don't know which I prefer. Pump row maybe. And crossbred, and the seeds are produced of this strange fruit. Well, we'll find out, because if they go proper orange, we'll know they are pumpkins, but weird shaped. And then next year I'll save those seeds, grow them again, and see if we get weird shaped ones. Anyway, courgettes. So the courgette forest is going very well. Well over 150 odd courgettes harvested so far, disseminated widely around the village, but they can start to look a bit shabby, like this one here, a bit yellowing of the leaves. Sometimes they get various illnesses, mildew and some things like that, but I find that when they start to go and get a bit tired looking, if you go round and cut off all the big leaves, the largest ones, of course I've got to bring my knife or a pair of secateurs, but if you, any of the lower ones like these, cut these off, right back at the stem, any yellow ones, and just leave the nice fresh, well, don't cut loads, too many off, but you can cut back a fair amount of the larger ones. Just make sure you leave a decent number of the fresher, newer, young ones, and you should find that your courgette plant comes back to life and you carry on getting fruits off it for another month or so. So give that a go. I'm going to remember to bring my knife next time I come down and attack all of these. A, it will make it easier to walk around, but B, hopefully extend the growing time. So there we go. Lots else going on around, but I'll show you that next time, I think. Picked some of my shallots the other day, there's another load that are ready to come up, I think. And started on the potatoes. I could show you that just quickly. Picked the first 3 rows, dug it over, and got a fair amount, maybe half a sack, half a small sack. More than I was anticipating after the first few, but not a great year for potatoes, sadly. No matter, it is a great year for tomatoes. Back in the back garden, at the back of my back garden, and you can see behind me, every year, this bramble grows over. I cut it back every year, and it comes back. But that's amazing. I love a bit of free food, and I'm about to pick a load of this because I like to eat it, but also I want to pick a load because this popped through the door the other day. It's the village show schedule in the village magazine, and in it there's a couple of things. In the fruit section, soft fruit, 12 of any kind other than raspberries. So hoping it's in September, first week in September, so 5 weeks time, hopefully some more of these will be ready for that. But also there's a jam and a jelly section, so I was thinking of making some bramble jelly and some maybe bramble jam for that. But now I know that the show is going to be on, I've got 5 weeks of worry ahead, worrying whether my apples will stay on the tree. Lost another 4 this week, down to 12. The pears, whether they're going to survive. Cucumbers have normally been and gone by the time of the show, but hoping that the plants will hang on until then. Tomatoes not normally an issue. On any given day I could probably pick 8 tomatoes for the show. But my other things, my marrows, I want them to get bigger. All manner of things. My runner beans haven't even started to show really yet, and there's several runner bean categories, but we shall see. And I remember that way back when episode 2 or 3 we were saying about having a virtual show for you guys to send me some pictures of what you're growing, and we could have a competition and maybe a prize, who knows. I figure a lot of you might be doing tomatoes, so that would be a good one, and possibly courgettes. I know there's a few of you growing courgettes. Now for the tomatoes you need six tomatoes with the calyx, you know, the little green star bit attached, and there's 6 normal tomato and 6 cherry tomato, and the courgettes you need 3, and it's not about necessarily the biggest, or it's more about the uniformity, so 6 that look as similar and blemish free, etc., or the courgettes, you know, all the same size, same colour. That's the way to go. But if there's some interest in this, or you got some other veg that you're growing, I mean, there's all manner of categories, not least one vegetable not already specified category, which is a bit of a catch-all really. And number 24, one ugly veg, i.e. misshaped, rude or funny. I was robbed a couple of years ago in that section. Thought I had a banker. It was a beauty of a carrot, a bit rude, but I was robbed by I don't even know what it was. It was a nondescript fruit, I think. Who knows? Anyway, but yes, leave a comment if you like about if you've got some other veg that you'd like to enter for the show, or we'll sort out the details a bit close to the time. The show, as I say, is not till September, so we'll work out the details for that. But exciting times, I think you'll agree. That's probably it for this one. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.